Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes,
Yes, it's visible.
fine, thank you. So today I discuss about the Python software foundation, Python versions, installations. So you need to know something about PSF. You need to know something about PSF. Yes, Python software foundation. Python software foundation, right? PSF. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year 2001. The main objective of this Python software foundation is to foster the development of Python, to foster the development of from version to version, right? To foster the development of Python, right? In the year 2005, in the year 2005, PSF, PSF received a Computer World Horizon Award, right? Computer World Horizon Award. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. The president, right? The president for this PSF is nothing but the personality who developed Python, who introduced Python, right? Guido van Rossum, the same personality, Guido van Rossum, the same personality. He is the president for this PSF and the headquarters, Delaware, US. Official website for Python, official website, python.org. www.python.org is the official website from where we can download Python, from where we can download and install Python, right? We can see the documentation for each and every Python release. Okay, okay, fine. Python versions, Python versions, right? Python 1.x version, it was released in the year 1989. The next, like Python 2 version, the next version of Python, 2.x, right? Yes, Python 2.x. 2.x means 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, but the first version of the first two version was released in the year 2000. And later we got Python 3 version, the version what we are using currently, like Python 3 version, right? Yes, it was released in the year 2008. Latest version of Python, latest version of Python. Python, latest version of Python, Python 3.11. Python 3.11 is the latest version, right? Yes. Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python. Python 3.9. In stable version, Stable version means mostly used version. Mostly used version, right? Yes. This is something about the version. So we'll be downloading the latest version 3.11. Yes. Python installation, right? Python installation. Yes. So before I go with the installation, just I'll go to this settings, apps, apps and features. Scroll down, right? Python 3.11.5 uninstall. Uninstall, right? 3.11.5 uninstall this version, right? So Python provides different softwares for different environments, for Windows, for Linux, and for Mac OS. For Linux, no need of any separate installation. No need of any separate installation for Linux. So Python comes as inbuilt within the Linux. But for Windows and for Mac OS, we are supposed to download and install it, right? Yes. So for Windows, Python providing the two softwares for Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit. So if your Windows is 32, you need to download 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is 64-bit, we need to download 64-bit Python software. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32 or 64-bit? Yes, just I'll minimize this. If you go to this file explorer at the bottom, click this file explorer and check property. 64-bit operating system. What is that? 64-bit operating. If it is showing 32-bit, right, you are supposed to download 32-bit Python software, right? Yes. So let the uninstallation in progress. Okay. It's almost done with an installation successful. So just open this Chrome browser, right? And say, what is the official website of Python? www.python.org. www.python.org, right? Official website for Python. Python.org, right? Go to the downloads, all releases. Downloads, all releases. If you go to all releases, right? And if we can scroll down to the bottom, active Python releases, you can see, don't go for it. Looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific list. Python 3.11.5. Python 3.11.5. You click it. Yes. 3.11.5. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. 3.11. Okay. So you can select it. Windows installer 32-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. Windows 64 and Windows installer 64-bit, right? Now just click this 64-bit, your download starts. Check here, your download started. How much? 24.7 MB, right? 24.7 MB. So that exe file, you can just open your downloads folder and click it. Otherwise, you can just click this exe file. A window is going to get opened in this way. So go to your python.org website. In that downloads, download Python 3.11.5, the latest version. Once it is downloaded, click the exe file. You will see this. Don't immediately go for installation. Don't immediately go for installation. See at the bottom, add Python to path. Add Python to path. Add Python to path, right? Yes. And go for customize installation. Go for what? Customize installation. And here nothing to select. Everything are pre-selected. Documentation, pip, Python test suite, all this. Just say next. Here also nothing to select, but where the installation location in C, users, Dell, app data, local, programs, Python, Python 3.11. Remove all this, right? Remove all this. Tomorrow, if you want to locate Python, you need to enter into all these subdirectories, right? Yes. C/Python 3.11, just to say install. Just to say what? Install, right? Yes. So almost the installation hardly takes 2 minutes to install Python. Once this Python is installed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not. Once it is done, right? Let us check it is properly installed or not. Setup was successful, just say close. Setup was successful, just say close. Yes, now at the bottom in the search panel, type CMD. Say enter, right? If it's type CMD and if you press enter, you will get this. Just type Python here and say enter. Python version has to be displayed and the Python interpreter 3 arrow symbols you need to see. Python 3.11 version, you can see the 3 arrow symbol. Yes. So any valid Python statements you can type and check 3 plus 4, 45 into 7, right? X equal to Ajay, Y equal to Kumar, right? What is X plus Y Ajay Kumar? So any valid Python statements you can type and check, right? It's working. Any valid Python statements. So this is what Python is installed properly, right? Yes. If anyone working in the using Python in the Linux environment, right? If anyone working, if you want Python comes as an inbuilt within this Linux, but still if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, so you can just say everything we need to download from the, we need to install from the root user. So say sudo apt-get install Python 3.11, right? Python 3.11. Okay, that's fine. So that is what Python installation. Yes, Python execution modes. Next is like Python execution modes, right? Two modes of execution. Two modes of interactive mode and secondly like batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode means just now I was discussing right here. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter, right? And the user can easily interact and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Statement by statement, right? Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. What is the advantage, right? Advantage to test. Okay, advantage is if you doesn't know about any Python functionalities, you can just type and check here. Yes. What output it provides, right? To test the functionalities, to test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. For the learners and the beginners, right, this interactive works better. But to develop applications, right, this interactive mode won't work. We need to go for batch mode. Here, in batch mode, here we write batch of statements. Here we write a batch of statements or set of statements within the editors. Here we write batch of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension. Save it by using yes .py extension and later submit it to Python. Here we write a batch of statements within the editor's IDs, save it by using .py and later submit it to Python. Batch mode. So what are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Various editors. Notepad, within the edit plus. VI, nano, all this, right? Yes. Notepad, edit plus, VI and nano. So these two are for Windows, right? We can write this Python code and create .py files. And these two are for Linux. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code and what are the various IDEs? You can see that various IDEs where we can integrated development environment. In real time we use these IDEs like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, Jupyter, okay, Eclipse, Jupyter Notebook. VS Code, right? So these are all these various IDs. So I'll be showing you about, I'm going to show you on all these IDs, right? How to download, how to install, and how to write the code and execute the code and all this. Not on one or two. So like others, I'll be showing here. I'll be showing you in more than multiple IDs. So among all this is the mostly used one, mostly used ID, PyCharm, right? We have got PyCharm community and professional, right? So you may ask why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two? Because Python is used for different environments. Different environments use different IDs, like data science uses like Jupyter, Spider, even for big data like Spider, Jupyter, and for typical web applications, PyCharm, VS Codes are used, right? Yes, various. Okay. Now developing the first Python application. Developing one second. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Developing the first Python application within an editor. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following the Python. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. So as of now, we didn't discuss anything about Python, its fundamentals, right? Just we'll take two values, x as 10, y as 20. We perform some kind of arithmetic operations. Print x plus y, print x minus y, right? X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y, right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. I'll copy this to a separate notepad file. I'll copy this to a separate notepad file. So I'll save it. File, save. So I created a Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Here I right? Yes. Sample1.py. Now, so just I'm writing here, save as sample1.py. Now submit this file to Python. How will you submit this file? Okay, you have created a Python file within the notepad.py in so and so folder, right? How will you submit means at the bottom search panel, type cmd and go to this command prompt. And here, if you type Python, if you press enter, it will go to interactive mode. Don't press enter and specify the path. Specify the Python file path to Python. So just specify the file within the C drive, within this Python 10 p.m. batch. Yes, within 10 p.m. batch. Sample1.py, right? Yes. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You can see what the output, right? Yes. So here, type Python and you will specify the path in which folder, in which drive, and in which folder the file is available, right? Specify the entire path. So, okay. But here, what is your observation? Here, we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. We are writing the code at one place where you are writing within the notepad you are writing and executing at the other place where you are executing within the command prompt. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But to write and execute, but to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute. We can write and execute at the same place. Okay, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. Now, we are writing the code at notepad and executing at the command prompt, but I want to write and execute at the same place, go for IDLE. So I will show you how to open this IDLE and I'll write the same code. Yes. So how to open IDLE? Directly in the search, type IDLE, right? This Python IDLE you get. Otherwise, go to your start programs, check your check all apps. Within these apps, go to P. Python 3.11, you can see, right? IDLE, the first thing what we see is IDLE. Click it. Click that IDLE, right? Yes. You will get this Python shell in this page. Say file, new file. So first you will get the Python shell in interactive mode. You can interact with Python, right? But I doesn't want interactive mode. I want a batch mode, means file, new file. Now, once you got this new file, we can write the code and execute the code here itself. We are writing the code here, executing the code, right? File, save. Okay, sample2.py you say, right? Now here run module. Here itself we are writing, here itself we can execute. Say run module, right? Yes. So 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20. So how to open this? In the search, type IDLE. And this IDLE, if you click it, Python shell opens in this way. Here you won't see the run option. Whenever you say file, new file, then only you can see this run option. Write the code and run the code here. But before you run the code, you need to save the code, right? So here, you can, if you want to work with interactive mode, statement by statement, you can interact here. Okay. So later I discuss about the IDEs, right? Once we are done with a little bit of technical content, I'll show you how to download the IDs, how to install, where to write the code, and how to run the code step by step, right? Yes, that's what Python execution modes. Next, coming to these fundamentals of Python, right? Yes. Python data types. Python data types and variables. Yes. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions, right? So every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. So for example, if we take any organization has got a data and operations. For example, if we take the example of bank consisting of data and operations, data like customer data, customer account number, customer name, balance, branch, and operations like deposit operation, withdraw operation, transfer operations, right? So those data represented using data types, operations represented using functions. But here we'll be discussing about data types and variables. Observe here, if we compare C or C++ or Java comparison with Python. See, in Python supports dynamic data types. It supports dynamic data types. If you have got some x equal to 10, we need to say like int x. Y equal to 4.5, we need to say like float y equal to 4.5. Z equal to hello HELLO, right? We need to say like string Z equal to hello. Okay. Without this data type defining, this variables x, y, z can't be created. This x, y, z can't be created, right? Yes. Compulsory this data type. But in Python, directly we say like x as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello. No need to define the data type. What kind of variable x is means based on this data type, we are saying it as integer type. What type of variable y is means float type. What type of variable z is string. But here in Python, what kind of variable x is means what value you have assigned to it. If you are assigning integer value, integer variable. If you are assigning float value, float variable. If you are assigning string value, string variable, right? So there is a function called type function. Type of x is what type? Integer type. Type of y is what type? Float type, because you are assigning a float value. Here you are assigning integer value. So there is a function given by Python type. Type of z is what type? String. Because what value you are assigning, based on the value assigned, the variable x is created dynamically during runtime. So what value you are assigning? Based on the value assigned, the variable is created. X, Y, and Z. Type of X into type of Y, float type of Z, string type. Okay. So more discussion on this side. Just observe here to make you understand much better. I am going to discuss 4 cases here. Case 1, observe this, right? Case 1, observe this case 1. I'm going to discuss 4 cases here to make you understand much better about this data types and variables. Whenever you define some x equal to 10, whenever you define a variable like x equal to 10, it's going to occupy some address. The address is given to x. So here, what x is storing? What x is storing? Don't say like x is storing a 10. Don't say like x is storing a 10. X stores this address. So here, 3 things you need to understand. Print x. Whenever you say print x means it goes to this address and prints whatever content at that address. Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. 10, right? What is the content at that address? ID of x. Prints the address of x. Type of x means prints the data type of x. Print x means prints the content, ID of x prints the address, type of x prints the data type of x. 3 things you need to understand that: printing the content, printing the address, and printing the type. That is case 1. Understood? Any query in this, anyone? How this printing the content, how to print the address, and print the type. So from here onwards, I want the sessions to be interactive, right? Everyone, you can unmute yourself and try to give your responses through voice or through short panel, right? Case 2. Now try to answer. If I say x value is 10, y is 20, everyone try to answer. How many objects will be created here? Yes. X is 10, y is 20. How many objects? 2 objects, right? One object with value 10, another one with the value 20. It is going to have its address. This address is given to x. This address, right, given to y. So 2 different variables with 2 different values, then 2 different objects with 2 different addresses. Now try to answer. What is print x?
10.
10, right? If I say print, everyone try to answer. ID of x is what?
1030.
103077. Type, data type of x. Means what value you have assigned to x?
Integer.
Integer, right? Integer type, right? Next, print y. What is that?
20.
20. Print ID of Y. 104080. Type of Y.
Integer.
Yes. Integer type, right? Two different variables X and Y with two different values 10, 20. Then two different objects with two different addresses. Now observe this case 3, right? Observe this case 3. Understood this case 2? Any queries in this? Two different variables, two different values, two different objects, two different addresses. I'll show you all these cases practically, right? Case 3. If I say X is 10, Y is 10. Yes, everyone try to answer. How many objects here?
Two objects.
Everyone try to answer.
One object.
How many objects? Two or one?
One.
So here observe carefully. Only one object is created here. There only one object is created, right? Before creating object for Y, it checks any object with value 10 is already available. If already available, the same address will be given. Means if X is 10, Y is 10, Z also 10. Don't think three objects with value 10 will be created. Only one object. And this address is given to X, Y, and Z. If X is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30. Try to answer how many objects?
Three.
Three objects.
Three, right? So if the values are different, multiple objects. If the values are same, only one object, right? Try to answer now. Print X. The X, Y, and Z, they share the same content and the address, right? Print X value and print Y value and print Z value. All they are printing 10. The addresses also print address of X, address of Y, address of Z. They are printing the same addresses, right? Yes. Case 3. Now observe this case 4, right? X value is 10. Previously X and Y. Now I'm saying X and X only. X value 10, X is 20. How many objects are created? Yes.
Two.
Yeah, for 10 one object, for 20 another object, right? So yes. Up to here it's fine. But if I say print X here, what is the X value it is going to print? 10 or 20 or both? What is your answer? Print X means what is the X value it is going to print?
Last assigned value.
Yeah, the latest value, right? 20. Address, if you print also, it prints the same. 4080. So now what happens to the previous object? What happens to this previous object 10? What happens? Can I print the value of it? Can I print the value of it?
No.
So what happens, whether it will be available or not available, it gets removed or what? To understand about that, right? There is a small concept called garbage collector. It's too early to discuss that, but just I'll give overview as of now, but later in our course we'll be discussing in brief with multiple examples. To make you understand about the garbage collector, I'll go back to case 3. Garbage collector. removes unused or unreferred objects. Removes unused or unreferred objects from the memory. Remove unused or unreferred objects from the memory. What do you mean by unused or unreferred objects? Objects whose reference count. Object whose reference count becomes 0. Object whose reference count becomes 0. Then we call them as unused or unreferred objects. Then immediately these objects gets removed. Object whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately this object gets removed from the memory. By the garbage collector automatically. Any object reference count becomes 0, then immediately those objects gets removed from the memory by the. You may ask, what is this reference count and how it becomes 0? First, what is reference count? So later I discuss about all this in brief, but just try to understand. Reference count means number of variables pointing to an object. Or number of variables storing address of a object. So here, understand this. If you want to understand, see here, garbage collector reference count means, observe this example. X is pointing to this object to 10, Y also pointing to this object 10, Z also pointing to this object 10. What is the reference count here? What is the reference count?
3.
3, right? 3 variables. X is pointing, Y is pointing, Z also pointing. Slowly, I modified the Y value to 20. So a new object 20 gets created with some new address. The address given to Y. Now Y is pointing to the new object. Y is not pointing to this. What is the reference count now? Only X and Z are pointing.
2.
Only X and Z are pointing. What is the reference count? 2. Slowly, I'm modifying the Z value also to 30. Means a new object 30 is created with some new address. Yes. Now Z is pointing to the new object. Z is not pointing to this. What is the reference count now?
1.
How many? Only X is pointing. Previously, X, Y, Z were pointing. Reference count was 3. Now only X is pointing. Reference count is 1. Slowly, I modified the X value also to 50. So a new object with 50 gets created with some new address. That address given to X. Now X is pointed to the new object. X is not pointing to this. Now what is the reference count now? Yes.
0.
0. 0, right? No variables are pointing to this object. Unused object, unreferred object. Means whenever object reference count becomes 0, it is unused or unreferred object. Then immediately garbage collector removes this object from the memory. Understood, right, everyone? How an object reference count becomes 0 when an object gets removed. What is reference count? What is garbage collector? Right? Once again, I'll be briefing you about all this in our course. Just based on everyone understood this? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, based on this understanding, we'll go back to case 4. Forget about x equal to 20 for some time. See, just observe this x equal to 10. What is the reference count of that object at 10? How many variables are pointing?
1.
Only one, right? So reference count is 1. Slowly, x value given as 20, a new object created with new address. X is pointed to the new object. X is not pointing to this. X is not pointing to this. X is pointed to the new object, right? So, what is the reference count of this old object? 0.
0.
No variables are pointing. So reference count is 0 means immediately this object gets removed. Okay. So understood all these 4 cases, that everyone? Hello. Now
Yes.
I'll take 5 minutes to show you the practicals about all these 4 cases what we discussed. So just file, new file, you can say. Case 1, defining a variable, right? Defining a variable. X value is 10, print x, you can say. Prints 10, and if you want to print the address where exactly it is stored, what is the address location id of x, and one more function, built-in function, type function, type of x is integer type. Save it. Yes, run module, right? Yes. Print x 10, this is the address and this is the type. Now I'll just copy this file, new file, case 2. Defining 2 different variables with 2 different values, then 2 different objects. Defining 2 different variables with 2 different values, then 2 different objects gets created. Two different variables with 2 different values, then 2 different objects gets created with 2 different values. X is 10, y is 20. 2 different variables with 2 different values, 2 different objects, 2 different addresses. I'll repeat this x, y, and z. Sorry, these 3 statements I'll repeat. Print y, address of y, and type of y. Try to answer, right? Address of x and address of x. Save it. X and address of y, is it same or different? X value 10, y value 20. Address also will be different, right? 10, 20. This is the address, this is the address. Integer, integer. I'll copy the same thing for case 3. Defining two different variables with same values. Then x value 10, y also 10. Then only one object gets created. Only one object gets created. And its address is written there. Address of x and address of y, is it same or different here? Everyone try to answer. Address of x and address of y, is it same or different?
Same.
Same.
Okay. It must be same, right? It has to be same, right? Because the values are same. Okay. The values are same. So only one object, only one address. Now I'll just go with this case 4, right? Yes. Save it. Three. The address of x and content is same. Address is same. Type is same. Yes. Observe this case for last case. Case 4, right? Defining two variables with same name. Two variables with same name. Defining two variables with same name, but with different values. Two different variables with same name, but with different values. Then two different objects gets created. Just here, x is 10 and x is 20. Then two different objects. Gets created. Two different objects gets created and the previous one gets removed. Removed by the garbage collector. X is 10, x is 20, always it prints the 20, right? Latest value. Address of x, the latest value. Type of x also this, right? 20, its address and its type. Understood all these 4 cases, everyone, right? Hello. Everyone understood these 4 cases, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Any query in this?
No.
I got one query in case 3. X value is 10, y is 10. The address of x and y, are they same or different?
Same.
It has to be same, right? But if I give 10.0 now, address of x and address of y, will it be same or different?
Different.
Will change.
So here 10.0 means what data type it is?
Float. Float.
Float type. and type of X is integer. Once integer type, one float type, two different types, right? So to address also will be different. Understood, right? So all these four cases. So yes. Fine. So tomorrow I'll go with fundamental data. We have got types like fundamental data types and collection types, right? Yes, fundamental data types and collection type. So I'll be discussing about it. So tomorrow you can attend the session same time at 10 o'clock using the same link, right? But from day after tomorrow, the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled, right? So tomorrow you can attend the session using the same link, using the same time, right? But from day after tomorrow, there will be a class day after tomorrow, right? So the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled, right? Yes. Fine. So once again, I'm repeating before you go with that payment process, right? The demo will be at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, means for the next 10 days to 2 weeks. But after that, the session, the batch timing will be at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., right? Yes. So for the first 10 days, it will be at 10 o'clock, but later it will be at 9 o'clock up to the end of the course. So it starts at 9. Fine. Any queries you got, right? Anyone?
Right. So, sir, I have one query. So, how is it different? I mean, when it comes to scripting, right? So, will this course also help with the scripting part of it?
Yes, yes. So yes, Python is a scripting language. Python is a scripting language.
Okay. So, specifically, what I'm looking is for the infrastructure code, right? So, for that one, how helpful this course would be?
So here, yes. So uh, especially these administrators, right? Database administrators, system administrators, right?
Right.
So instead of write complex shell scripting, right? Python scripts looks very simple and easier, right? We have got modules, many modules. I said 89,300 modules, even for admin modules are there. We have got models like OS module is there, sys modules are there, many modules are there, right? We'll be just, I'll also discuss about this OS module and these other modules. So see, many people from different domains will be updating this, right? So data science, people from data science background, big data background, or people from databases background, and many other backgrounds, right? So the
Right.
domain specific modules, they are going to explore it. How to explore it, how to use them, how to work, how to import, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, all those that you'll be seeing in this, right? And how to get our own modules. So with that, you can explore any other modules. How to get the help. Yesterday I was showing you how to get the help on a particular module. Functionality, one by one functionality, you can just explore it. So that, so as part of this course, yesterday I was discussing, right? So I'll be discussing functional programming with Python, that is procedural oriented with Python, object oriented with Python, scripting and modular programming. That's why I said it is 70 hours course. This total course is kind of 70 hours where you will get the command of the entire Python, right? So yes.
No, yesterday I didn't attend the class, so this is my first class. That's why I'm asking.
So that's okay. People who didn't attend, right? 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. details of this online thing and the course content link, the course content, whatever we are going to discuss, right? Yes, Python 4, Python advanced application oriented modules. I'm going to discuss many modules related to different environments, right? Some modules related to data science, some modules related to big data, some related to OS, some related to databases, Python database connections, some related to regular expressions, some related to graphics, right? And how to create our own modules. Python 4 and advanced, right? Starting from this Python installations, execution modes, data types, variables, operators, flow control statements, functions, exceptions, file handling, object-oriented programming features, right? So, and various models related to different domains and advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closers, decorators, right? And data
It's not
analytics
available.
and introduction. Okay, fine. 1 second. Hello, 3D anime of the course ready to make Autodesk. Yes, for animations also, right? For animations, for geographical applications, we have got modules, PyQt module, yes, Saurabh Sahu, right? So we have got even modules available, right? Like PyQt module is available, TK Inter module is available for graphic applications, and even we use scripting in Maya, right? Yes, 3D animation, right? We use this kind of scripting. And apart from that, modules also you can use many 3D modules are available. Python is providing. So the only thing is you need to understand how you can use them, how to explore them, how to get the functionalities or properties, right? Yes. So,
Hello, sir.
yes, and yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Sandeep this side. I just wanted to ask. Actually, I have been a bit explored Python, but as I have been working in reporting tool, BI tool, so we are integrating Python as well for generative AI reporting and machine learning. So it would be good to go through this Python core and advanced topics.
Yes, yes. See,
So my
for
basics could be good and I can embed
yes, yes.
all
Total
those things.
coding goes in Python, right? In data science, in machine
Yes,
learning, deep learning, and AI. Total coding goes in Python, right? Everything. So all
yes,
the Python
yes.
functionalities. So you'll be getting great command here in this. So that's why we will be discussing more sessions with many working examples, with many assignments and tasks. Yes. And I,
Sir, and this
that's,
class started on 25th, the first class.
so just we have got an introductory session before this. Today only, I was showing you the installation,
Yes,
everything, the total tech aspects, right? Today I was showing you that what is that Python installation, execution, how to you can execute a Python code. Everything today, from today it has started, right? Previously, just what is Python, how it is in the current real life, right? That was just you can
okay.
see that videos. You can,
So,
if anyone, if
okay, so
anyone,
these demo lecture
once
recordings are there available in YouTube.
that's what I was saying, right? You can see in the
Yeah.
chart now. You can see big
Okay,
messages
okay,
given
fine.
by this content team. Can you see that course
Hmm.
content? Everyone, you can course content, and it's Python course content link is given. Python people who wants to go for Python full stack web development, right? So this course is Python, and people who wants to go for full stack web development, where I
Hmm.
also means for only Python, the fee structure is just 5,000. It's 70 hours we'll be discussing, right? And for full stack web development, right? So extra 2 months where I will be discussing web UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and plus the Django framework with 15 to 20 applications creations plus project, right? For that, the fee structure is okay. The fee structure for the full stack is 10,000, right? Yes. So, and only Python, it is 5,000, right? Yes.
Thank you very much for the information.
So first you would be covering this core and advanced, and then you would be switching over to the UI part of it, right?
Yes, yes. People who wants to go parallelly also from Monday to Friday, you can attend this Python. Saturdays and Sundays, some weekend batches will be there, right? Where you can go parallelly, because you may ask a query, right? We are in the introductory level of Python. How can we go parallelly? Means first I'll be covering UI technologies, web development technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which doesn't require any Python knowledge, right?
So you have a weekend batch also going on?
So for not for Python, for this framework, Django framework, or this UI technologies, means Python will be on the weekdays, but web development sessions, UI technologies, and the Django frameworks will be in the weekends, where you can go parallelly, right? Yes. Okay. Fine. So you can see that course content and the videos, demo videos, right? The link is given. You can just go through, right? And see that if you want to go for Python plus Django UI technologies, so we will be getting the class videos daily basis. You'll be getting the class videos every day. You will get the class video. As once you get enrolled, you will be getting the videos to your Google Drive. Soft copy of the notes, assignments, and tasks will be provided. Resumes will be provided, and also a WhatsApp group is going to get created for these technical discussions, right? So tomorrow you can attend the session. From day after tomorrow, the link will be changing. The payment procedure, process, everything given in the chart. You can just copy it. And also you'll be getting a mail. You can check to your mail ID, right? You'll be getting all these videos. If you can check tomorrow, by tomorrow afternoon, you can see this payment details, that course content, the demo video, everything you will be seeing to your. Any other queries, right? Anyone? So attend the session tomorrow, same time, using the same link. So I said for the first 10 days, you'll be seeing it at 10 o'clock, but later after 10 days, it will be at 9 o'clock up to the end of this course, right? Yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So yes. So I'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow, more discussion on it. So thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you on tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you.